national anthem. And we're all in spring flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adam Roberson, please come forward, please. Our invitation.
Let's pray together. Lord Jesus, we just come before you today. We just thank you for your love and mercy that you give us every single day. And I thank you for this club that we represent to our community. And just pray that you'll give us wisdom and clarity and strength as we move forward in carrying out what Rotary is all about. God, we love you and thank you for your son, Jesus, in us here.
Amen. Thanks, Steve. All right, Mr. Terry Duffy here with us today. So, Mark Preston, going to lead us to the family rotors. Thank you, Mark.
All right, well, it's quite big shoes to fill without Mr. Terry here today, so I'll try not to miss them too bad. But we got a few birthdays coming up. So this month here, Nathan Wallace on June 17th. Alan Richards, also June 17th. Jack Collier on June 18th, and John Gormley on June 20th. Happy birthday to everybody there. We've also got a couple of anniversaries to mention. Leslie Bloomberg and Susan on June 18th, and Greg Hendricks and Linda on June 21st. Thank you very much for coming today.
All right, how is Linda come forward and introduce her guest for us?
Well, good morning, good evening. Welcome to our guests. When I call your name, please stand so that we can recognize and remain standing until all guests have been called. We have Mary Michael McClaney, guest of Jenny Logan. We have Noah McNeil, guest of Bruce McNeil. We have Kirk Davis, guest of the club. Welcome to Rotary.
All right, time for getting asked to draw. Scott Children. 630 points. All right, last four, 7644. 7644. Yes, Kelly.
She got another office. She got to start cheating.
Three opponents. All right. Thanks, Scott. All right, Mr. Alan Richards is going to come forward and draw some names.
Thank you, President Josh. Good afternoon, everyone. Drawing names programs for August, September. The first day is August 5th, Chris Dixon. Second day, 8/12, John Brown. 8/19, Stephanie Walker. 8/26, Greg Gregory. 9-9. Or Kristen. 9-23. Danny Sharp. And 9-30. Nathan Wallace. Thank you all.
Redraw for Kristen.
Oh, you just thought you were getting on it.
Oh.
Demetrius Foden.
What day is that?
August the 5th.
All right, thanks, Alan.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it, everyone.
All right, no more announcements today, so I'm gonna turn it over to Jenny Logan to introduce our guest speaker.
I am so pleased to welcome our speaker, Kiley Davis Spears, and her executive assistant, Christy St. Jean. Kiley is an Andalusia native and serves as the executive director for Meredith Miracles, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping families with sick children. Meredith Miracles is a 501c3 nonprofit that specializes in assisting families that have with travel expenses and different things that are dealing with medical emergencies with children. Meredith Miracles exists to bring awareness to childhood medical issues and to assist families with the non-medical emergencies expenses that can accrue with these emergencies. Kiley's journey with Meredith Miracles began in 2006. She had an idea for a fundraiser for the foundation, and she took that and ran with it. At the time, she was a realtor with Coldwell Bank. But the fundraiser, which is called Cookies with Characters, was a very clever idea that a clever lady came up with that involves the community, their talent. They volunteer, and it has grown into a huge successful fundraiser and broke a record of raising over $111,000, which was the largest to date for the recent. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kiley and let her give you more information about Meredith Miracles.
Thank you so much. Jenny gave us a little bit of a background of Meredith Miracles, so forgive me if I repeat some of it. We kind of just started doing the bio when some groups want that, so that's kind of new to me, working in with our slideshow. Meredith Miracles, by a raise of hands, can I ask you if you've ever heard of Meredith Miracles? Great. Oh, good. So we always ask to try to see how much the room knows about Meredith Miracles. And forgive me, I'm going to look at my slide a lot. I'm so used to working off my slides. So y'all let me know if y'all have any questions, if y'all can see this. So Meredith Miracles was established in 2005. Meredith McGlamory is the little girl that started it all. Meredith was from Andalusia, and she came across of having a childhood cancer, and her family owned a business in Andalusia, and Meredith fought cancer for 2 years. And through those 2 years, our town, our community is such a great community to live in. The family, they weren't poor or rich, but they were fine. But after 2 years of financially battling traveling expenses, it takes a toll, and it takes a toll on any family. They were dealing with hotels, gas, food, and unexpected expenses, trying to drive at 2 o'clock in the morning to get to doctor's appointment. Our town kind of pulled together and started kind of reaching out to them going, hey, let us give your hotel. Here's the gas card, here's the food card, just to help out. And after Meredith passed away, they thought, it was nice to not have to worry financially about where we were going to lay our head at night to get Meredith to the doctor. And they realized that there's a need for that, and for families not to have to worry about where to sleep at night to be able to get to a doctor's appointment when they're traveling. So that's kind of how Meredith's Miracles became. After Meredith passed away, the family realized that they wanted to give back to the community to try to pay it forward of the kindness that our community showed them. So we were formed in 2005. What a lot of people don't understand, we were based from Andalusia, but we cover 27 counties. So we cover from Montgomery County, state line to state line and down. So pretty much the whole south of Alabama. And that's a big, a lot of people think that we're based out of Andalusia, that it only helps Andalusia families, but we really tried to make the public aware of our coverage area because it's so imperative. Just this last year, we applied for different grants, and this last year in the Dothan area, in 2023, we funded out around $47,000 to families in y'all's local area. So we are really trying to make sure that people are aware of us in different counties, because we're based in Andalusia, but we help all the counties, the 27 counties. So it doesn't matter where our office is based. We are a 501c3. We take that very seriously and follow all the guidelines of that. We help with birth, ages birth through 18 years old. So we are a children's foundation. And we help with non-medical expenses such as food, gas, lodging, rental cars, plane tickets, bus tickets for the area. These are some of the kind of expenses that we cover. Overnight hotel stays, gas, the NICU. When a family has a baby in the NICU, sometimes they're there for a month. And we help fund the family stay at the Ronald McDonald houses in different towns. Food, the day trips, if families have to travel, sometimes people have chemo trips. Sometimes they can have trips 2 to 3 times a week out of town. So, and we also have fund for emergencies. We teamed up with some Lifeline units and hospitals, then they'll send us their emergencies. When a family has to get in the car and follow their child if they've just been blown out, sometimes they don't have the gas to get there. If it's unforeseen and families don't have a way to plan, that's where we come in to fund for emergencies. So we've started teaming up with that. That's been really rewarding for us to be able to help in those emergency cases. And that's been great. We're on 24-hour call with that. And then we also have all the planned trips. Out-of-state funding, we have a lot of families travel that have to travel to Cincinnati, Boston. We have people in MP Anderson right now in Texas. So we have a lot of out-of-state travel. This is just kind of an example of how our funding trip works. When people kind of ask us about the different things, like our day trips are $100, our emergency fund are $250, just to instantly get them some relief to help travel. Overnight trips, we work with the Ronald McDonald House a lot in the different counties over the different states. We encourage our families to stay at the Ronald McDonald House. It's a great resource, so we've kind of teamed up with them too through the years. That is a little bit of that. A lot of times, if you're going to donate to something, you would like to know that your money is being used for the right reason. And the one way we feel good about reassuring ourselves and anybody that donates to us is each time a child travels to the doctor or has an emergency, anytime they go, we verify it. So we know that child has seen their doctor appointment, have done their chemo treatments, have traveled in the emergencies. After they get there, we require discharge papers. We work with the social workers and all the different hospitals to verify all that information. So if we give somebody money to travel out of state for treatment, we verify that they actually went. So that kind of gives you a little peace of mind if somebody donates to us, that we actually do follow up and make sure that the patients are being seen. Medical travel adds up quickly, and it's something, on top of we don't cover bills in hospital, and you deal with insurance and all the different things. A lot of families, before they turn around, have no clue. I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of medical debt. I had a family this week, they're in Texas, and they called and said, we have tons of bills adding up at home. Both the parents are there, they're both out of work right now. Their little girl is battling cancer, and she's like, we would not be here at this hospital without y'all. Like, there's no way. She's like, the bills are just adding up, and she said she's not sure they're gonna have power when they get home, but they're there at the hospital because we helped them get there. So we try to be that support and they got to get to the hospital. So that's why we try to make that happen with the financial part of it. A lot of times people think that they don't have like a lot of money to donate, but the smallest amount helps. This is our little guy, Dawson. He's younger in the picture. We started helping him when he was in the NICU. This last summer, he came in and they wanted to do a fundraiser, and he raised $1,800 and change and stuff, and came in and brought it into our office with the money that he had raised, and had like piles of quarters and everything. So any amount adds up. It all adds up. Unfortunately, one thing that my children have never been sick. I've been very blessed with not knowing that pain, but you would be shocked at, we have about 3 families right now that have multiple children that are sick. This little family, both their children were diagnosed with the same kind of cancer at different times. And it's crazy because it's like, how do you deal with one child being sick? We have families that have multiple children that are sick, and how they go about everything, but it is such a task. So it's their little family, they said cancer never quits, that they don't ever get a break, but they're battling it from day to day. This little family, they have twins, both the boys have that. So it's crazy to think that one child's sick, but families that have multiple children, or even it's just so interesting to see that the families, they get it done somehow, and that's what we're there to try to help them with all that. Oh, my picture's not loading on that. Okay, so this is the little girl's testimony. That her mom, she's in Texas right now. She has had cancer for 18 months. She's 4 years old, and she has cancer, and her eye was just removed this last week. The family, they've done everything. This is the last chance they have to remove the eye. And then for chemo treatment, this is the family that I was saying, they said they don't know if they're going to have power when they get, but they know that they're there and they're taking care of their daughter. And we will continue to help them. We've helped them for 2 years to try to battle this, but they depend on us so much. Now, video comments to show that, because the sound's not working good. Our pictures aren't going to work. Are we sure the Wi-Fi is good? That's what we're looking for. I'll get rid of this too. For some reason, the picture's not loading. Oh, can we just say? Madison's picture was coming up on the screen next. We had a 16-year-old 2 years ago come in, that was battling cancer. And she had to have her arm amputated. And she thought it was a very aggressive cancer. She was only with us about 8 months. And she lost her battle with cancer. She came into my office about 4 weeks before she passed away. She was in good health considering 4 more weeks that she had passed away, but she was a really outgoing 16-year-old. And she came in and she told me, she said, Miss Kiley, she said, what's your favorite color? And I said, strangely enough, my favorite color is black. And she's like, why is it black? That's not a favorite color. And I said, well, it is my favorite color. And she said, well, she said, you can't wear black. And I said, for what? And she said, to my funeral. And I said, well, I tried to brush it off. And she said, no, I'm serious. She said, what's the brightest color you have at your shirt? And I said, I don't know, I have a green shirt. She said, well, promise me. She said, I'm planning my funeral. And she said, you have to wear your brightest shirt in your closet. And I said, okay. I said, I will, Maddie. And she said, and then promise me. She said, I have a picture of a wall with all the kids' pictures in my office. And she said, promise me you'll put my picture on your desk and you will never forget what you do. And so I don't know if it's gonna load down. I wish I could show you all Madison. Anyway, how crazy is that a 16-year-old has to plan their funeral and stuff? So the funding that we do and the help that we provide these families, it is so something I'm so passionate about because it's a struggle to try to find funding for the foundation all the time, all the fundraisers, and we're constantly spending trying to find funding for these families, not to let them down. My pictures aren't gonna work this time. So, I wonder why I quit working all this time. Okay, so these are some of our facts. For 2023, we funded out 159,000 and some change, 1,089 trips. This year so far, we've already given out 76% of our funding compared to last year. So I'm fixing to have to hit the ground running because we're going to need more funding. As you know, cost of living's gone up and us trying to keep families on the road, and we're already at 625 trips this year and we've already funded out 120,000. It's hard for us to predict what we're going to need for a year because we may have 11 cancer patients, we may have 30 NICU babies. It all varies on how what families we're going to get in. Since Meredith Miracles has existed, we've funded out over $1.3 million. So we're so proud of that to be able to give that back to the families. These are just some of our kids. Now my pictures are going to work. Madison's there. I want to see Madison. So if anybody in this room has any ideas about different clubs or different foundations that we can go speak at, or that grants that we can apply for, planned giving is something that we try to make people aware of. We would love for y'all to contact us and let us know your ideas. It's always a struggle of finding out what grants you're approved for, and we've started running into a lot of, we have a grant writer, and something as simple as like y'all's area that we've been getting a few grants for, all of a sudden some of the rules changed to where we had to have an office based in the counties. Well, that's so miscellaneous. It's just not, it's a waste of money for us to have an office in a different county. Everything's done remotely over the internet, and the families apply online. So it doesn't do us any good to have an office in the 27 counties. So we're starting to run into that it's like a grant that we were eligible for, now we're not because our office is based there. So if y'all have any ideas about that, we would love that. We're really worried about the different grant requirements that we're running into and changing up on us with it, because we've got to have funding coming in from all the different counties to be able to provide still for the families in y'all's counties. We always say, we wish at the beginning of the year that somebody would just give us $500,000 or something and we wouldn't have to worry about funding the rest of the year. But it's a balance, and nobody does that, and we have to pick and choose and try to apply for $2,000 grant or $5,000 grant. Anyway, trying to come up with money to fund the families is such a task. We do have Cookies with Characters, and like Jenny said, this year it was very successful at $111,000. But as you can see, we've already funded out 120, so that's gone, and we have to rely on our grants and any other fundraisers we pull this year. We have a thrift shop in Andalusia that we'll talk about. So this is where I was saying, if y'all can think of anything, I would love your feedback, to email me or call me for any kind of grant. This is just different ways to donate, monthly donations, event sponsors, memorial giving, honorarium, and planned giving. And all of that's on our website too. This is our board. We have a great board. We have 14 seats filled right now on our board, and 2 of our founders sit on our board still. On our website, in honor or in memory of a loved one, we have a donation thing, and that's Maddie. I wanted y'all to see Maddie. That's Maddie before she had her arm amputated, but she was such an interesting person. She was an awesome kid. We have a thrift shop. It's full circle. We say the items that people donate, we sell to the thrift store shoppers, and then the money goes to the foundation. Our thrift store was small years ago. We bought a bigger building, and that has actually surpassed Cookies with Characters on the income for the foundation. So that has helped us tremendously, just by you cleaning out your closet. I know that's a drive to Andalusia, but if you ever want our loading dock, we just expanded that this week, and we have plenty of room to donate any used items that you would get rid of, and it goes to a great cause, because that has been such a blessing to us to be able to raise money for the kids through the thrift shop. Those are just some of the donations that we take. We have a retail donation store program. If anybody owns a business in this area, Village Furniture is a part of our retail donation program. Any clearance items and stuff that they have that are new and stuff, we're tax write-off. We do the tax write-off receipts, and they can donate pictures or lamps, or we get all sorts of good stuff. And then we sell it in the thrift shop. So if anybody has any, clothes or a business that you're wanting to get, it gets it out of the way. And we take everything but food. So that's been a really neat program. We have a pickup van now that we can come make a scheduled pickup in your area. So please contact us if you want to know more information about that. We also have a volunteer program. We have over 700 students enrolled in the different counties that help us with our fundraising events, such as being the characters, the Cookies with Characters, coming to sell popcorn and different things at our event, and we sell LED toys and stuff at the different events, and through the year, all our volunteers work at all the different fundraisings. This is Cookies with Characters. We have Masters of the Green golf tournament in Enterprise. That's fairly new if anybody golfs. And then July Jams at Candyland. We have a toy shop at Candyland and July Jams in Andalusia. Help raise money. If anybody's not been to Candyland in Andalusia, it is a fabulous time, and so you have to come over. It's a must do. We're part of that with the city. Cookies with Characters. And if you ever want to be a sponsor with Cookies with Characters, we have a lot of promotional things for our sponsors on our website if you're interested in them. So, does anybody have any questions? Did I go too far? Speed talker sometimes. But any questions or ideas that, yes, ma'am?
How does a family apply for the
Absolutely, good question. On our website, it's meredithmiracles.org. They go apply for assistance, and it gives them the steps of, they just fill out the form, give us their information, and then they provide their social worker's name or number, or doctor's office, and the social workers give us their appointments to verify they do have an appointment, and then we fund it, and after they attend their appointment, then we confirm that they attended their appointment. So we've networked with a lot of the hospitals. We work with Children's Hospital of Alabama a lot, in Birmingham. So a lot of our families travel for needs there, Mobile and Pensacola. But then we've gotten to where we work frequently with MD Anderson's hospital in Cincinnati. We've got several children that travel out of state. So, but it's a simple process. They apply for each trip, and we can help them with each time they travel an hour to an hour and a half away from them in one of our counties. Any more questions? Yes, sir.
What's the age?
Birth through 18 years old. And then after 18, sometimes we'll have a child age out that we've helped for a long time. There's a smaller foundation in Andalusia that will help 18 through 26 that we'll refer them to. Sometimes kids will only need us like one time. It may be an emergency. It may just be why they're in the NICU, and then they'll be healthy and never need us again. Then sometimes kids will have lifelong illnesses or cancers. The lifelong illnesses, we've had some to where they'll age out at 18. It's really hard for us to help them that many years and then not be at 18. So we try to easily pass them on to that other foundation that helps with travel. So they kind of mirror us. They're a little smaller. They were established from one of our family, our children that passed away. She aged out, and so they formed a foundation that helped older children. So that's nice to be able to send somebody there. But our application is an easy process for families, and the ages, as soon as the baby's born, we can start helping, and then up until they're 18. More questions? Okay, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Kiley, for being with us today, and thank you for all the work that you do. Sounds like you have an immense impact on lives that need people need it. Next week, it will be my last program as president. So I have the swan song. Looking forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you to the guests that we had today, and thanks to those that helped put on today's program. A reminder, if you are on the board, we will have a board meeting immediately following this meeting. With that, please stand for our four-way test. The things we think, say, do. Shine the light, Rotary.
We're involved in so much to try to raise as much money as we can.
I am.